Ooh, this is an okay question. Where's somewhere that you want to go that you haven't been already? She's actually getting ready to go to England. You just said you wanted to go to England and you're going tomorrow.
Yes.
How does it feel to be one of the people that just like want something and you just do it? So many people...
I don't understand why everyone says
I don't understand either.
Like, what if you died in your sleep tonight and you didn't do all the things you wanted to do?
That could happen.
What kind of life is that?
I don't know. Not a good one. But I feel like all the people that like are the people that do stuff, all they're saying is you just gotta do it.
It's that simple though.
It really is. You just gotta like, just go. Where do you want to go that you haven't been?
I want to go to Australia. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to like every continent.
Yeah, I would like to hit
except
every continent.
Antarctica, because I don't think I could handle the cold. Although there's penguins.
So you ever seen that one penguin that like lives in New York and he like walks to the fish market by himself? He wears a little backpack. Have you ever heard of Giraffe Manor in Kenya? That's like a hotel.
Told me about that.
Oh, I want to go so bad.
That.
There's this place in Kenya. It's like a big manor. It's like a hotel that you can stay at, and there's just like giraffes all over their property, and like the giraffes know that people stay there, so they will come through like your windows and stuff for food. I want to go there.
Cute.
Also Machu Picchu. Oh,
yeah.
Also Göbekli Tepe. Have you ever heard of that? They just found this archaeological site recently. A farmer found it, and it's the oldest archaeological site ever found, and they pretty much have to rewrite history because of it.
Take me with you.
You can come. I got into an argument with someone, not really an argument, but kind of like a Twitter discussion with someone on Twitter about free will. Do you think you're making your choices, or do you think it's all kind of predestined what's going to happen?
I don't know, because I feel like I'm making them.
Yeah,
but
you feel like you're making them.
Because even when you're like torn between a decision, like, are you really the one making the decision, or was it already planned out?
Yeah, I think it's all planned. I think it's all determined. And I'll probably like ruin this quote so bad, but Alan Watts said once, he was like, you feel like you control your breath, because like you can like control your breath, but when you stop thinking about it, it just like goes on. And he was like, you feel like you can't decide to open or close your hand, but how do you decide to decide? And if you don't know how you're deciding to decide, are you doing that?
Maybe we're living in like the Truman Show kind of thing.
It could be.
And I don't know.
I think it's definitely predetermined, because I think like all of our thoughts, they're not really original thoughts. Like, it's all an inspiration of something else. Like, whether it be like our home life or our culture, or like what we're experiencing in the day, what we're being bombarded with as far as advertisements go, and like all of these subconscious kind of things play such a role into building the way we perceive the world that it's like not even really ours. You know what I mean? So like if it's given to us, then it's kind of predetermined in a way, because it's like a domino pushing. Like, because this happened, this is the byproduct of this. And I feel like that's what our lives really are. Like, I feel like because the universe exploded, this is the byproduct of that. Like, this is just happening because that happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but it kind of makes sense at the same time. I don't know. Who knows? I think this is all, no accidents, nothing's random. It's all just happening. There's just a pattern, and we're stuck in the pattern. We're stuck in the kaleidoscope of life, and we're just one of the fractals.
Yeah, so don't even worry about anything.
Who would win in a fight?
Me.
Well, they didn't say between who, but yeah, you would definitely probably kick my ass in a fist fight. I look kind of buff on this stuff. Maybe it's just a shadow.
Do you have any muscle? I don't have it much, so you probably have more than me at least. Oh yeah, I can bite pretty hard, so I would probably win just based on that alone.
That's your special attack.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of an interesting question. In a situation that requires your need to make a decision, you're not making any decisions, we just concluded that your decisions are not real. How do you differentiate? I have such trouble with that word.
Differentiate.
Differentiate the voice of your intuition from the voice of your ego. So how do you know if it's coming from a true place, or it's coming from some place of like maybe your egotistical motives, like desire, or just like wanting to benefit from something? How do you know if it's your soul or your ego when you're making decisions?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I guess if there's nothing to be gained and you're not concerned with the outcome, then I guess that's probably a decision from the soul. because the soul doesn't really need anything, because it just accepts whatever happens as it happens because it's happening. It's just, the soul is kind of just like when they say you're a human being, your soul is just that beingness. Like, it's just, the human stuff is the ego. That's all our monkey brains going crazy and being human and emotional. But the soul is just the beingness, like everything. Like a tree is just a being. The cosmic universe isness is just a being. So I think when we make our decisions from that place, I think that's a soul decision, maybe. How do you turn anxiety into something spiritual?
I don't like to call it anxiety. I like to just call it excitement, because anxiety is usually like...
It's negative.
Yeah. But it's kind of the same thing as excitement. Excitement's just a more positive way of putting it.
Yeah, it's almost like giving it that like negative undertone is reassuring. It's like you're agreeing with a belief system you don't even agree with. Like, you're accepting a belief system you don't even agree with when you like give these sort of like, oh, I have anxiety. It's like you're sort of like painting yourself into a corner, putting yourself, you know what I mean?
Like, your mentality becomes your reality. So if you think you have anxiety, you're gonna have anxiety. The same way, like, if you think you're depressed, you're gonna be more depressed.
I feel like I'm such like a weird introvert, extrovert. Like, I'm like really balancing in the middle. So like sometimes like I can vibe off other people's energies and get real hyped, and then sometimes I'll just be like being around people is almost like they're energy vampires in a way.
Yeah, like it's draining.
It's like draining. Like, I'm so stuck in the middle between like
Do you think it
both
just
extremes.
depends on the people, or
I'm not
yourself?
sure. I haven't figured out yet where it comes from. Like, how to like what the source of how to go one way opposed to the other way.
Yeah. What was the question?
Does Mike Wazowski wink or blink? Do you know who Mike Wazowski is?
From Monster Inc.
Yeah. Does he wink or blink? Because he only has one eye.
That's a good question.
That's like those philosophical questions that will just never have an answer.
It's like the chicken or the egg. No, it's not like that at all. Never mind.
It's kind of like the chicken or the egg.
We should all go on like a trip together, like the whole squad.
Australia. I feel like Danny really wants to go to Australia.
Jason wants to go there too.
Yeah, I feel like everyone wants to. I think I just got a splinter. How important is self-love to you?
I think it's very important, because you can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself, or at least you can't love them to the fullest extent that you could.
It's kind of your only job.
Yeah.
It's pretty important. You get fired otherwise. How has traveling changed your view on the world and life itself?
I guess it helps you see different cultures and how different like economic situations affect cultures, and I don't know, just like the different ways that people are brought up and how it affects everything about their life.
Have you had any culture shocks?
All the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had I flew to Toronto from Egypt, and like I went from Egypt straight to the mall of like Toronto Mall, and this was after being in India for 2 months and like going to Jordan and then ending in Egypt and then going to Toronto, and it was the weirdest thing ever. Like, it was more culturally shocking coming home than it was
That's how
going to any
I
of those
felt
places.
when I went to Southeast Asia for 2 months. When I came back, I didn't like it here.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be
Well,
here.
it was just like I just like
weird.
looked around and I'm just like, what are you people doing? Like, you have no idea what's going on in like real world. Like, you guys are such in a bubble.
Like, all of America's like in a bubble.
It's just such a bubble of
and
privilege.
everyone's fat.
Yeah,
There are people that barely have any food.
Man,
and then to come back and see people eating like way more than they need is like,
it's so
crazy.
weird. And that's probably the biggest realization I have had leaving this country, is like just seeing like, holy fuck, we have no idea. Like, we're just so lost in the sauce here. Literally lost in like some kind of sauce, like mozzarella sauce or something. How can we make the world a better place with evil and violence? What steps need to be taken towards righteousness?
all you can really do is just do your part and lead by example.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, like, a lot of people are vegan for that kind of reason, in that they want to help the earth and the environment and do their part in that way. And I don't know, there's a lot of things you can do. Just be like a nice person, and by being a nice person, you're spreading that positive energy, so other people will be more positive.
Yeah, I think just self-healing and self-realization are the two best gifts you can give the earth and, you know, the people in your life, because your own healing becomes other people's healings. Like, I always look at it like when you're around someone that's got like a funny laugh. If you're around someone that's got a funny laugh, it's so contagious to be around them. Or if you're around like a dickhead, it becomes contagious. You're like, oh, it puts you off, puts you in a bad mood. We're very contagious creatures. Like, we kind of we shift to whatever, and we're adaptable to whatever energy we're around.
Yeah.
So if someone's like funny, you know, our mood feels lighter. If someone's angry, our mood feels heavier.
Energy is so, like, sensitive. You can
totally
literally
sensitive.
smell energy. Like, they did a study.
I've never smelled energy. I think it comes, like, so if you're, like, consciously being that person that other people like to be around, and, like, constantly building people up, and, like, not doing it from a place that's, like, maybe your intention to, like, you know, like, do it in a genuine way, but, like, being that in yourself by self-healing, that's how you heal the world, is doing that, you know, like, it's like one candle lighting a bunch of candles.
Yeah.
You know, that flame doesn't have to go out for you to light a bunch of candles. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Why not nihilism? How you say that word? Nihilism? How come not nihilism? Like, how does one know that there is a point to anything? So basically being like a nihilist means that you just, like, kind of look at the world like it doesn't matter, right? Like, who cares?
I think so. Yeah.
So why should we take an approach to, like, care opposed to don't care? I guess it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of what makes you feel better.
Yeah. I feel like caring more just makes you feel better because you receive what you give out back. So, like, if you're a caring person, you're gonna receive more love back, and it'll make you feel better. Whereas if you're more of a nihilistic or however you say it person, you're gonna receive more of, like, a negative energy back.
It also seems like the attitude of, like, I mean, it can be a beautiful attitude, like, totally the power of I don't care and the power of why not can birth beautiful experiences. But I think most of the time, if your foundation of reality is like, it doesn't matter, like, who cares, I think that's more destructive. And maybe, like, its destruction is just like an abstract concept inside of our brains, but, like, it's still kind of symbolic, and I feel like caring is more creative in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it seems more like nurturing, and we thrive off that. I don't think anyone really wants to destroy stuff. I feel like we get off on, like, love and, like, beautiful stuff and being creative, and destruction I don't think that's really our nature. I think our nature is to be more creative. And I think that's maybe where that nihilistic approach kind of turns me off at, is because, like, it just seems like, for me personally, I would be more sad, I feel like, if I had that perspective, like, oh, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter, but it makes it kind of beautiful at the same time. It makes it matter. The fact that it doesn't matter allows me to give it meaning and make it matter, because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I don't know where I'm going with that. Well, thanks for leaving us questions on our stuff. If you want to watch Steffi's videos, she has a YouTube channel, and we did a Q&A over there. I'll leave the link below. We talked about similar stuff, kinda. You guys will probably like it, maybe. Wouldn't it suck if this microphone just didn't pick nothing up?
Do it again.
She's getting ready to go to England, so she's probably will already be there by the time this video's up. But leave nice comments and stuff, wishing her luck and love and good vibes and high fives, virtual high fives. Anything you want to say?
If anyone's wondering what Dakota's like in real life, he's really annoying. That's all. But
reconnect with love and express it out into the universe, and everything will probably be okay.
yeah.